Hello everyone and welcome to this week's webinar. We're here at the MySwing Professional Studio in Scottsdale, Arizona. MySwing is a 3D motion capture system. We're always brought to you by Medicus Golf and Kickaxe Golf. And today's subject is going to be on slices, hooks, or draws, and lob shots. If you have any questions, just put them in the sidebar there and I'll get to them after we discuss this. So we get an awful lot of questions of players that want to learn how to hit a draw or control their slice and turn it into a fade, and also how to hit some lob shots. So I've got a couple things we're going to talk about which should help you in understanding this. I've got this one little device I'm going to show you. As I bring this up, I'm going to focus on the device and not so much on me. So as you can see, there's three pieces to this: a white, a blue, a red, and then a string with a ball on it. So this red represents the club face. So if I want to draw the golf ball and I'm a right-handed player, then what I need to do is I need to aim the face right of where I want the ball to end up, but I need to swing to get the club path going farther right than that. So if I move the club path farther to the right, and now I move the club face halfway between those two, the ball is curving this direction, which is for right-handed player, which is to the left. You can see the little line here showing the curve. Now let's say I wanted to fade the ball. I would do just the opposite. Okay, so here's my white line at the target. Here's my path. Okay, that's the direction the club head's traveling. And here's my club face. It's halfway between those two again. So the ball will start primarily where the club face is pointing and a curve away from the path. So you can see the angle of the stripe now is going to the right. So that's how I would fade it. But you have to remember, if the face and the path are square to each other, then that's where the golf ball is going to go. It doesn't matter where they're pointed. They could be pointed straight. They could be pointed straight to the right. They can be pointed straight to the left. If they match, the ball is not going to curve, as you can see on that little line there. Okay, so remember, when the face is between the path and where I want the ball to end up, that's a direction it's going to curve, whether it's going to be a fade or whether it's going to be a draw. So again, this little device just shows you this, and this red represents where that club face is pointing. So as you can see, I'll point it right here, you can see where that club face, right, is pointed to the right of this. So that'd be pretty severe right there. So to do that, I'm going to show you a couple of drills that you can do. So what you want to do is you want to lay down where you'd like the ball to end up. Okay, hopefully you can see this on the way shaft. All right, then I'm going to take and I'm going to put a line to the right of that. I'm a right-handed player. Now, hopefully you can see the difference in these two. They're about this far apart. So when I set up, I'm going to aim my club face in between these two. So it'll actually look, as I look down, it'll actually look close to my path, but open to where the ball is going to end up. And if I would reverse this, that would of course produce my fade. So when I get set for this, again, I picked out where I want the ball to end up. Now I'm going to point the face where I want it to start. Now I'll move back here a little bit. Now I'm going to take my body and point it right of the face. So as I look down, this club face is closed to me. I just make my normal swing based on what my body is, swing down and try to keep that face relationship. That should hit a push draw, which is what I want to hit. Remember, if you're drawing it, you don't want to hit a straight draw. That'll finish left of target. You don't want to hit a pull draw. That'll start left and go farther left. You want to hit a push draw. So for right-handers, it's starting to the right and coming back. If you want to hit a fade, you don't want to hit a straight fade because that'll finish to the right target. And the straight hook or straight draw will finish to the left of the target. You don't want to just swing out to the right and fade it because that would be a push fade. That's not going to get the target either. So if you're going to fade it, you have to get what's called a pull fade. So I would set my face at a dress pointing left of where I wanted to end up. That's my start line. I'm going to take my body and move it farther left than the club face. So by and large, my body setup is going to control the path that I want to swing this club on. So let's say you're trying to hit a draw. You get up to the top of the golf swing. As you start down, the shaft comes out too steeply this way. That's going to be hard to get a push draw. So when you get to the top, what you want to feel is you want to feel your hands rotating. I'll move it up here where you can see it. You want to feel your hands rotating this direction. Okay? When I get to the top and I rotate my hands back in that direction, that's going to flatten the shaft more. So when I come down, you'll see there it's on my right forearm or slightly under it. If your shaft gets above that forearm, it's going to be hard to get a push draw. Right? So you can do this stuff in the mirror. Take it back to your top, right? Work it down. See, I'm actually just rolling my hands downward, which now puts the club farther behind me, which now puts my path farther to the right. Now, if you're somebody that gets too much under, gets trapped this way, and you're hitting too big of a draw, when you get down here in your mirror work, if your shaft's back here, just move it a little bit this way. Try to feel like it's in line with your forearm at this point, okay, and not under it. Try to get it in line with it. If it's too far this way and you're overdrawing it or over pushing it, just get the club up here a little more. It's still coming from the inside. Okay? So on your hooks, slices, fades, and draws, that's all you're going to do. Now for your long shots, you can take your highest lofted club. This one's a 58 degree. And if I want to get the ball higher, then I need to make impact with the club shaft more vertical. All right? You'll see the world's best players, when they're getting these lob shots, as they get the shot, immediately their target side wrist starts bending like this, and the club face starts working its way upward like this. So it'll be an upward face, closed face, right? So from this angle, when you hit the shot, allow the left wrist to bend, feel like the club face is pointed up to the sky or looking back at me, but it's not turning over. So again, when you're hitting these lobs, you have to hit them a little harder than you would a normal shot because you're not de-lofting the club. You're actually trying to add loft to the club. And you'll see a lot of players, as they take this back, you still have the same sequence coming down, but you're going to see a lot more upper body movement and a lot less lower body movement through the shot because we want to get the club going up. Okay? All right, so now we have a couple of questions. So let me take a peek here and see what we've got. All right, so the first question is from John. How do you avoid popping up as you near impact? I have a tendency to pop up, lead leg straightening, near impact, causing me to top the ball. Is a sneak squat a remedy? John, popping up or standing up, if you start standing up too early, yes, you're going to top the golf ball. The sneak squat is actually a downswing movement. It's this one. Now you're down too low, however, so you have to start moving up. And you'll see all good ball strikers, all great ball strikers, as they get down near here, the left leg is losing flex. It is stretching upward. But here's what happens. If you stretch your whole body up, you can't reach the ground. So as I stretch the left side of my body up for a right-handed player, I'm actually pressing and lowering my right side simultaneously. The same amount, because if I lowered it too much, I'd get fat. If I didn't lower it enough and all I did was straighten the left side, I'd just top it. So these two are moving the same. So if I'm getting here and I start down into my downswing, as this left side starts straightening up, the right side is starting to come downward. Right, so I still have some knee angle, and I still have what would be called hip action. Right? And I've also got a big hip angle here. See, if I'm standing straight up, then my hips look like this, right? And I want to keep that angle down this way. So you can see how my right side works down. A good drill to do this, or to practice this, is just hold your club out in front of you like this. Okay? With your right hand, you can take a golf ball. You don't need a golf ball to take it. Go to the top of your swing and practice throwing the ball under the shaft, between the shaft and your body. If you stand up, you'll wind up throwing the ball outside of that shaft. All right? All right, the next question. All right, and this one is from Gary. How do you get the feel of a well-struck, crisp iron shot? Well, they feel pretty good. And we've all hit those. You want to make sure when you're hitting this golf ball, first of all, you know, this club only has one point where it's hanging straight down. So if I strike the ball before that point, that means my club's going to be moving in a descending blow, all right, not an ascending blow. You see way too many golfers hitting this shot where the club's moving up. We want to see golfers hit it with the club moving down. Okay? When you swing down, you strike that thing, it's got a completely different sound to it. So you've got to make sure a couple of things. You've got to have more pressure forward. You have to have your hands more forward. You have to have a forward-leaning club shaft at impact. Strike the ball, then strike the ground. So another good drill to do this would just be to lay a club down and then set up to this club with the butt of that club in your approximate ball position location. Now back away from it because we don't want you to hit that. Make a swing to the top, come down, strike the ground on that side of that club shaft. Or at worst case, even with it. If you find yourself hitting it back here, you know you have too much pressure back here, you're falling backwards. Just make small swings and try to strike the ground in front of that shaft. So you can use a dowel rod or a driveway marker too, either one of those will work. All right, our next question. This one is from Jay. When I try to get a fade, I double cross and pull hook the shot too often. My normal shot is a draw. How can I prevent the double cross? All right, so going back to what we talked about, remember the ball's going to start primarily where the face is pointed. So if you're hitting the double cross, that means your face is well left of the swing path. And your face needs to be right of the swing path to get the fade. So I would set up, again, aim your club face where you want the ball to start. So this would be a square line. Aim your body left. So when you look down, even though your face is pointed left, it looks open to how you're standing. Remember, the backswing is going to be out here now. Most people that double cross it, they still get the club behind them this way, so the path is too much outward. So if I'm standing right here in a square stance and I swing back, this is the path that this is going on. Now if I open up, and I make the same swing relative to my body, you can see how this appears to be going outside in, and close to this line would appear to be inside out. But they're all relative to my body, so they're all perfectly on plane. I've just shifted everything to a different location. So again, players that have a trouble double crossing it, when they set up a little bit open, they're still swinging back in here because they're using it relative to their target line. Your new line is your body line, which is over here. So if you take this back, the club's going to feel way outside. It is relative to your target line, but not to your body. Now, if you come down, your path is going to be going farther left. Your face just needs to be right of that path. All right, let's see what our next question is. And this one is by John. How much does gravity affect the swing? I've been told to toss the club to the top, and let it fall back down in the slot. All right, so if I just went up to the top, and I just let go, the club's going to fall down. If I go to the top, I just relax my arms, it's going to drop down. All right, so you have those things working for you. Unfortunately, your body's moving while you're doing all this. So what's dropping right here from this position, as I start moving here, it's dropping out here more. I would be more concerned with putting your body in a good location. So that would mean, as you get to the top, your downswing starting with your lower half, your pelvis. It's then followed by your chest, it's then followed by your arms, and then finally the hands and club head. So I would make swings just taking it to the top and then just swinging with my right arm like this. Take it up here, swing the right arm. Pick it up, and you'll see that this club is coming down pretty easily, and the path is also working pretty much to the right, which for me, since I'm a right-handed golfer, right? If I was a left-handed golfer, do the same thing. It's just going to work more from the inside. But a good way to practice is just doing one-arm swings and feel the weight of the club. The club has a weight, all right? And if I've got both hands on it and I go to the top, and I take this hand off. As I move there's an angle between my hand, wrist, and club. So this club head is what we call inside my hands. That's outside my hands. So if I went to the top and all I did was just let my arm just come down, sooner or later that club starts coming out like it is right there. I just have to keep moving. So if I was at the top and I take this hand off and now make a downswing, club's coming down automatically, and it hit the ball without me doing anything with it. So sometimes trying to hold the ankle and force that issue will not let the club come down and get in line the way it should. All right, well, that's all the questions we have for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. To get out in Arizona, give me a call. We're out here in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's 85 degrees here for you folks up in the north, so it's a pretty good day. Keep those questions coming in. You know, we like to get the questions. We like to get to your topics, and we choose one of your topics every single week. So until next time, see you guys.